Hey guys, so it's me, Nicolette Mashile, and today I want to talk about how you can save money when it comes to your groceries or your shopping. And remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please speak to somebody who is certified and registered with the FSCA. So when I used to shoot Daily Theta, our call time used to be 7:30 in the morning, and I'm generally not a breakfast person, right? So I would struggle quite a lot to eat breakfast in the morning and then go to Daily Theta and work, and then, like how a normal person would eat 3 meals a day. So what I used to do is I would wake up in the morning and I would go to work without eating. And sometimes I would get there. They did used to feed us and give us breakfast, but most of the time it was food that I couldn't really eat because I'm gluten intolerant, right? So I can't eat flour. So I would try and stay away also from some of the food that used to be provided for us there, right? I would maybe make a cup of coffee or something like that will sustain me so that I don't drop down while I am on set, right? Now, Daily Theta, as I said, 7:30 up until 11:30. That's generally a full day of Daily Theta. Sometimes we would have a pre-record and record an additional episode, so we'll probably end at around about 2 o'clock. Now, at 2 o'clock or at 12:30 on a normal day, I would then get back into my car and I would drive back home. And my way home, I drive through Randburg, right? And I take the route, the Bram Fisher route. So I pass a Woolworths shop every single day. And what I started noticing was that I had this habit of wanting to stop there every single day. Like, even if I knew that there was something I could come home and make or eat from, like last night's leftovers, I would stop at a Woolworths every single time that I saw a Woolworths. And the reality is that when you go shopping and you are hungry, you generally want to buy the whole shop, which is what I do. I like, all of the time, I used to want to buy the entire shop, or you buy, let's say, like your meal, which is maybe a roti or a sandwich or a pie, whatever it is that you want to eat, and then you see those fruits, those fresh fruits. Now you want to grab a punnet of grapes, and then you see those watermelon that's chopped up. Woolworths is very good at making everything convenient, right? They will peel your bananas if they could. They will do everything for you. They've got the watermelon chopped up. Their mangoes are chopped up. They even de-shell pistachios, guys. Those pistachio nuts are de-shelled. Like they are about convenience, right? And obviously now you're seeing this fresh watermelon. You are hungry. You are buying it, but you're buying like a little box of watermelon at like 50-something rand. And again, you're now buying a bottle of water because you're probably thirsty, because sometimes when you're thirsty, you think your body tells you that you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. Now you're buying water, you're buying food, you're buying juice. And then as you urge now towards paying, there by those aisles where you wait in the paying line. Now there's little things there that you also want. Now there's kale chips, and we're trying to stay healthy, so we're buying kale chips or rice cake little chips that are flavored apple cinnamon. And then they've got those little snack packets of biltong, and you're buying them, and they're like 40-something rand, and it just absolutely makes no sense, right? And obviously people will say, why don't you go to another supermarket? The moral of the story is not about the actual supermarket. It's me talking about, the lack of planning when it comes to our groceries, and it ends up becoming a financial leak because we don't plan it well, right? So what I then decided to do was to change the route now. So I decided I'm not going to drive down Bram Fisher because I clearly don't have the discipline to not go and park in front of the Woolworths. And by the way, the Woolworths is so nicely positioned. It's the Woolworths, there's a Nando's right next to it, and then there's a bottle store. And I'm going to buy pink tonic nyana, So the first thing that I did is I changed my route. But then I realized another thing. I like to do this thing where I go grocery shopping when I'm hungry. It is one of the most stupid things that you can ever do. When you go grocery shopping when you're hungry, number one, you don't follow the list, or number two, you haven't even done a shopping list. And making a shopping list is such an important part of the grocery shopping experience, because you need to buy what is on your list, because when you have sat down in your house prior to you going shopping, you know what is needed. You've opened the cupboards, you've checked what is needed, you know that you've got enough rice to last you for the rest of the month, you've got baked beans, you've got all of these things. But the moment you walk into a shop without a list, you don't have the good recall to remember what are all the things that you actually don't have, or some of the things that are finished and you've got to replace them, right? So now you start just buying things because you've gotten so used to buying sugar, you've gotten used to buying flour, maize meal, rice, you buy the same braai pack of chicken, you buy the same wors because you don't actually have a list, because you don't have meals planned out as to how is your day panning out. Do you need to buy cornflakes for the morning, maybe a light something for the afternoon, and then in the evening maybe, you know, a meat and some vegetables for you to make yourself a nice healthy meal, right? So you can eat 3 times a day. And then, as I said, the other thing is that I go shopping when I'm hungry. Now, when you go shopping when you're hungry, generally you want to pick everything in the shop. You are buying desserts, or you are buying this, oh, you might need this, or you might need that. Some of the stuff that I used to buy, I don't even know how to cook. I remember these gnocchi, not even gnocchi is pasta, right? There are these other things, man, they're like sacks of potatoes filled, and you gotta like dumpling things, and I didn't even know how to cook them. Yet I had them in my trolley because I was like, oh, this is something to try out. Oh, this is something to try out. Because now all of a sudden you want to try out all these many things that you end up actually not ever using. And I think the other snag is buying fresh food, because fresh food goes off, right? So a lot of us buy so much fresh food that we don't even ration it correctly for each and every single day. Then it sits in the fridge, you become busy maybe that week, and things go off. Like all the time, whenever Preeti comes here, she and I have to sit or stand in front of the fridge, and I have to say, throw this away, don't throw that away. You can take that with you. You can throw this away, you can throw that away. Because it's off and it's expired and I can't eat it, so we've got to throw it away. Or I've now got it in the fridge, but I don't know how to cook it, or I don't have anything to pair it with, so I have to now give it to her, you know? So it's some of those things that we just need to be very careful about in terms of when we're buying groceries. But I think the other thing is that we always misallocate enough funds for our groceries, right? A lot of us thumbsuck how much needs to be put on the budget in terms of your groceries. So instead of you actually looking at the end of the month and looking at your bank statement and saying, this is how much we've actually spent on food this month, a lot of us do it before, when the month starts. So you'll say, oh no, we've allocated 3,000 Rand to food, because who eats more than 3,000 Rand worth of food? Oh, well, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. Also, because of the spaces that we're living in, gone are those days where our parents used to cook every single day. I know for a fact that my mom cooks every single day, you know, yes, she doesn't cook 3 times a day, but she does cook every single day, right? Now, when you look at my lifestyle and her lifestyle, they are totally 2 different lifestyles, right? Also, over and above that, they're living in Bushbuckridge. I'm living in Johannesburg, where takeaways are easily accessible. I mean, at home, the closest takeaway place is probably, I think there's a Debonairs, and I think there's a Fisherways or something like that. But my mom has to get into her car, drive, because the delivery service is also not that great. So it becomes a bit of a mission for her to be able to access takeaway. So generally, she would cook almost every single day, right? Now, when you look at us and the lifestyle that we are leading, we have Uber Eats, we've got Mr. Delivery, we've got dine in, or whatever, come dine with us, or whatever it's called. So everything is just easy and accessible, and it's convenient, and it pushes that instant gratification life that most of us are living, even when it comes to our food, right? You'll be sitting here thinking, oh, I feel like something. Maybe we should have I feel like chicken. Now, when you think about having chicken, you've got Chicken Licken at your disposal, you've got Nando's at your disposal, you've got Chicachinos at your disposal, you even have the African restaurants now delivering, so you've got at your availability, can get Maotwana at your availability. So that convenience lifestyle also becomes problematic when it comes to our groceries, because then we don't budget correctly. What most of us do is we separate the grocery budget from the takeaway budget, but they should be one, because ultimately they are actually all food. It's all your groceries. But the other thing that we do, a lot of us, is that we then want to punish ourselves, right? And say, okay, I'm not going to eat takeaways. Now, let's just be honest. You're not going to cook every single day. Do you understand that you got to cook for 30 days in a month? 30 whole days it's impossible, guys, honestly speaking. A lot of us are leading very busy lives, and some of us live alone, so you're not going to cook for yourself every single night. So of course takeaways then become a little bit more convenient, right? Or microwave food becomes a little bit more convenient. So I say what you should do is you should then decide that maybe your Thursday is your takeaway day, and you know that if on a Thursday you have takeaways, and if you didn't have takeaways on a Thursday, you can shift that takeaway day to another week or another day in the actual week. That kind of starts to make your life a little bit easier. It's like having that guilt-free money for you to be able to spend. So I would suggest that you do actually allocate a proper budget when it comes to your groceries. In fact, break it down even after you've had it as groceries. Have subdivisions of what are groceries. So things like your cleaning agents, your toiletries are also part of your groceries, right? So they should be part of that amount of money that you're spending on groceries. And then you must have your takeaway, and then you must have your entertainment, because the other thing that we don't account for is money that we use when we're out at the restaurants. And you know, we love restaurants. We love going to certain restaurants and be served our food, right? So it's important for you. And also sometimes when you get drunk, we are very easy to spend. We've got very easy and a heavy hand when it comes to just swiping. We swipe when we've been drinking, right? So that should be also part of your actual grocery list that you need to remember. Then I think another thing that I noticed about myself is mismatching food. And let me tell you what I'm talking about when I talk about mismatching food. You buy certain foodstuffs, but they don't make meals. And I think also it's because we are forever Googling what is healthy, and everybody thinks that just having a vegetable and a meat is going to be enough. But the thing is, when it comes to food, you've got to be creative also at the same time. And I think that's why a lot of people are discouraged to actually make meals, because today, okay, I ate fish and vegetables, tomorrow meat and vegetables, the next day whatever and vegetables. And that might sound very healthy, but it's boring, right? It's absolutely boring. And in actual fact, I have now toyed around with the idea of getting a personal chef to come into my house and actually make meals for us every single day, because it works out far cheaper than what I'm currently spending now on buying groceries, getting too tired to cook it, buying takeaways over and above the groceries that I've already bought, having my groceries go off because I'm not cooking my groceries, but I'm really too tired to cook. So now I compensate with buying takeaways, whereas I really could have just hired somebody. And people might say, no, that's very elitist. It's actually not. When you actually do the maths and you actually sit down with a chef and say, how much will it cost you to prepare, to make meal preparations for me every single day? Maybe it's not even all your meals, not all 3 of your meals. You can maybe ask for smoothies for each morning. So you get your 5 smoothies, and you've got a smoothie for breakfast, and then maybe lunch is what you can sort out, and then dinner, they drop off a meal again. And it's as simple as that, you know? So that's what I've toyed around with it, because, as I said, a lot of us mismatch our food. You're buying ngumbi rice. You've got so much rice in the house. You've got so much white chicken meat, and then you don't have things to make these things, make the pots happen and hlangana into a meal that you are inspired to actually eat. So those are the other problems, because a lot of us, our buying habits are also habits that we have adopted from our parents. But you know that mama could make pap and chicken and it would slap every single day. And really, most of us, we just don't have that skill, man. We don't have the skill to make things happen in the kitchen. So we need like different types of ingredients to be able to put together a meal. But most of the time we're too busy, we're too tired, we're uninspired. We've been told to get more than one additional income stream. So at what point, when I'm trying to shoot YouTube videos, I'm going to work, I'm writing a book, I'm studying, am I supposed to be making now these additional meals, right? So we mismatch our food quite a lot. But I think the other thing that we also need to remember is that what a lot of us do is that we don't maximize our food once we've cooked it. So one, we cook either too much of it, so we've got too many big portions, and then when whatever is left over, you're not keen to have it the next day, because you either didn't package it properly, because a lot of us get tired, we cook, we leave the food in the pot, it doesn't get packaged properly and stored properly in your fridge, or your fridge's temperature is incorrect. When you wake up the next day, you open it up, it doesn't smell great, or what you've done is you've put it while it was very hot into your fridge. That water thing happens when now all your food is like watery, and it's just a mess, and you're like, I don't want to eat this. So these are some of the things that I feel that we need to look out for in terms of saving money when it comes to our grocery and our food. I mean, if I could tell you how much money I've spent on takeaways in the last couple of weeks, I'm sick, man. I'm sick to my stomach, because it really is a lot of money, right? And I think the last thing that I want to talk about is in terms of your groceries. I think I've said everything that I think I should say. Okay, bye.